Hello, I am Tanya Clark, and the title of my speech is To Stress or Not to Stress. And the topic, again, is stress, and we both know that there is good stress as well as bad stress. We can experience good stress in regards to a wedding, a birth of a child, a promotion at work, and then we also know that there is bad stress, which is chronic stress, not acute stress like the good stress, which will eventually end. Chronic stress has no end to it. It seems like there's no light to the end of the tunnel. And so today we're going to talk about things that are chronic stress, such as a bad relationship, a hostile work environment, or having a chronic illness that or maybe even something that can be considered terminal. It just depends on your outlook. And so now we will talk about how to avoid bad stress to enjoy your life and have a good quality. Per E. Wilkinson, stress has effects on the body and as well as the hormones, and that can become a chronic condition. Stress has effect on your cardiovascular system, your neural system, as well as other hormonal imbalances that you can incur dealing with a lot of stress. From the cardiovascular stance, we all know that some people have been stressed out to the point that they can have a heart attack, or it can cause you to have chest palpitations as well as chest pain. And then you can suffer from migraine headaches. That's another effect that stress has on the body, and memory loss. A lot of times we can be so overwhelmed with stress that we tend to have a memory, a loss of memory, or like a slight cognitive deficit related to stress. So stress can also cause you to have the fight or flight effect. When you're stressed out, your adrenaline starts pumping along with your norepinephrine, and it'll just give you that rush, but it subsides once the stressor has been alleviated. So, stress also has an effect on your immune system. It has been shown that people that have a lot of stress, you do not heal properly, or it takes more time to heal due to stress, has compromised your immune system. And along things that can also cause a problem with stress is smoking, unhealthy eating, as well as drinking. And stress can cause you to do these things, which can eventually cause you to have certain type of cancers, especially with the drinking and the smoking. So our need is to alleviate stress and the stressors, the causative factors for the stress. And what we're going to talk about is the competitiveness of why Americans are so stressed out. Because of competition, because of social media, and because of the cancel culture. If you're not into that certain clique with the cancel culture, they'll just alleviate you, and on social media, the bullying, and just making you have low self-esteem. And that has caused about 70% of the stress that young people have today. It's all due to our mobile devices as well as social media. Ways to distress is diet, exercise, lifestyle changes, as well as calming events, calming and pleasurable events during outdoor activities, so that you can get that fresh air and be at one with nature, which is my favorite. So, to start our day off with the most distressing event, we can start with protein in our diet. Protein in our diet increases serotonin and helps us synthesize the serotonin which can give us a decrease in anxiety as well as a better mood. There are also spices that have a contributing factor to less stress, which is spices such as ginger, saffron, turmeric, and yes. So we can also have fatty fish, and probiotic rich foods that decrease stress and decreases social anxiety as well. Now, the new trend and the buzzword is adaptogens, which are foods that derive from Chinese and Indian culture traditions for over 100 years ago. And today they are back and forth for us. A lot of people add these adaptogens to their diet. And adaptogens are non toxic plants and herbs that release stressors of all types so that it promotes healing in the body and it is non-toxic versus the normal pharmaceuticals or drugs that you are prescribed from your physician, and they don't have the side effects, adverse reaction, or new problems that sometimes drugs can cause, especially in the elderly population because they metabolize medications differently than the younger people. So these herbs that are back on the market and popular demand are encouraged highly by your natural physicians, your holistic physicians, your holistic medicines. And so now we'll talk about the support that they give through homeostasis and how they affect your equilibrium. It gives your body a balance, and it has been proven per research that these herbs and plant roots are able to make your body heal itself versus the need for the medication. It stabilizes you and it works for the better for us. So three of the main roots that are used are the Siberian, the American, and the Panaginseng, as well as turmeric. And imagine life without having all of the antidepressants. Imagine life without having to see a therapist. Imagine life where you could alleviate your stressors to the point where you could just live a better quality and a simplistic life. So, with that being said, I would just encourage everyone to try to alleviate all stressors that you can take control of, that that is within your control, and just live a better quality of life. And with that being said, my personal experience is I am a cancer survivor of lymphoma, and I had a very stressful 3 to 4 year period where I was a single parent, taking care of a bedridden grandparent, and I worked full time and I took classes. And I believe over the course of that time, and I was in a dysfunctional relationship, and I believe that over the course of that time, that took a toll on my lymphatic system, where I was so overwhelmed and overworked that I just got sick. My body could no longer fight off any toxins. And when my oncologist did the research to try to see how I succumbed to lymphoma, there was no heredity, no factors that we could conclude to the cause of the lymphoma. And once I researched and the more I learned, I believe in my life personally that stress had played a major role in causing cancer. Some research has been studied, and it's still questionable, but that's just my own personal belief. So let's get out and do things that can alleviate stress and just have a better quality of life, and do some yoga, do some exercise, do some aquatics, just anything that'll give you a better quality of life. So, does anyone have any questions that they would like to answer?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Parker.
Yes, do you, in your personal opinion, do you believe that the generation now has more stress due to the influx of social media?
Yes, I do. I believe that that causes a lot of everything with them, as far as just the stress and the competition factor and the feeling left out if you're not in the in crowd. So I feel like, and I even feel like, and research has showed that it can cause suicidal ideation, especially from the bullying aspect, as I mentioned earlier. So I believe that a lot of the stressors that the children today have, we didn't have, because we didn't have all of these social media outlets and had to be this and that and wear this and that.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I was thinking about, I think you said that how stress, you believe that stress puts you high risk of catching a disease or sickness. It was something you said like that. And I was thinking about the coronavirus. How do you think that that was may have been a part of the spread somewhat in the hospital with the staff because they were overworked, and then around where people that had coronavirus, so they were unable to, their body couldn't fight off not just coronavirus, but possibly the flu or any other type of disease that they had contact.
Yes, good question, Yvette. Yes, I believe that that was a contributing factor to staff as well as the clients or the people that caught coronavirus, because everyone was just in an uproar, and some people didn't believe it and didn't wear a mask, and we know, what happened, unfortunately, how things worked out for them. But I believe that that is a factor, as well. All right, well, thank you, and I hope you enjoy my video, and everyone have a safe and wonderful summer.